Hey, Scott from MyGrowthRings.com here once again. It's in my garage shop, and in this episode, we're going to repair a problem I caused myself, and maybe answer a question that you've had. The Shopsmith Mark V comes with a quill handle. This is the lever that we pull when we want to drill or do horizontal boring, things like that. That mounts on either side of the headstock. It can mount right here on this side of the shaft or on the opposite side. So if you're right-handed, you might want to have it on the right-hand side of the headstock for drilling. If you're left-handed, you might do the opposite. But you've probably gotten used to living in a right-hander's world. Did you know Hans Goldschmidt, the inventor of the Shopsmith, the whole concept, he was left-handed, which is why when you're standing in front of the machine and lifting it into the drill press position, you lift it up from the left. And all the controls are on the left of the table. Hey, there's a bonus fact for you there. Anyway, so a few weeks ago while I was doing a maintenance video, I dropped the headstock off the table and it landed softly on my jointer, which was sitting on the floor below. And it took that quill handle and gave it a big old bend. And so I thought, well, there's a couple quick solutions to this. First thing I could do is just, whoa, look at those polyurethane casters. Drop that down. First thing I could do is I could just go over to my real shop and grab one of the quill handles off of one of my Mark V's. I don't want to do that because I need those quill handles on those Mark V's. So the next thing I could do as well, I could just steal one of the quill levers or handles off of a Total Shop machine. That's a Taiwanese clone of the Mark V, and I have a few of those as well. So I did that. There's the lever off of a Total Shop. Let me show you just for comparison sake. Let me reassemble this Shopsmith one. And man, it's boogered those threads pretty good too. Check out the difference between these two. Oh, come on, hold them up there, Scott. The Total Shop ones are much shorter. I do like their black finish that they've put on those, but that's probably to cover some casting sins. But otherwise, that's okay. I could have purchased a whole new one from Shopsmith. I can purchase just the lever. I can purchase just the hub. All together right now at retail, that's $22 plus shipping from Dayton, Ohio, plus the delay. Shopsmith has two other options. They have a three-handle quill lever, and I had one of those years ago. I didn't care for it, but for drilling, and only for drilling, it's kind of cool to be able to grab that handle and feed them forward, kind of like a ship's wheel, okay? And that's traditional for a drill press. But in any other function other than the drill press and the boring machine, that handle's in the way. And so you're constantly swapping that handle out. I also didn't care for the fact that it didn't seem to lock quite perfectly onto there's three spots right here that it could mount to, little dimples. And it didn't seem to lock terribly positive on mine. It wobbled a little bit. And so I stopped using that completely. They have since come out with a 10 position quill lever. You mount a very large hub right here, and then that hub has 10 holes drilled in it. And then there is a pin and a rare earth magnet. It's kind of interesting, but what I don't seem to like about it is it extends so far off of the quill. So I've never bit on that one. But what I did buy is probably going to bother me just as much in that respect. But I've been seeing this for a while now on the Shopsmith forums and also on the Shopsmith owners group on Facebook. Geoffrey Baker has been sharing some of his experiments. He's an interesting guy. I don't know his entire background, but he's been posting videos to YouTube as well. I'll link to his channel below, of course. And he has created a number of little gadgets and hacks for his Shopsmith equipment. And he's got an early 10ER machine. He's got several Mark V's, got lots of accessories. His videos just on the storage of his equipment alone are worth viewing. But what he has created is a neat little kit that's far more than what it first seems. So I haven't opened this. We're going to open this package together, take a look at what comes in the kit. We'll We'll install it, play around with it a little bit. And then in our follow-up video midweek, I'm going to go to my shop and grab a few things to put this through its paces. So, of course, we'll answer any questions, comments, and cheap shots you have from this video in that follow-up. But let's open this package. The biggest complaint that people who've purchased this have had, and those like me that have considered it, is its color. There is nothing that Geoffrey can do about that. That's because he buys this as an assembly from a company that sells parts to the auto racing industry. And typically, where you would see this is a steering wheel would be attached to this hub through those 3 screw locations. And then onto the hub adapter that's mounted onto the steering column, this would snap on. And we'll play with this in a second, and you'll see exactly what I mean. But what else is in here? So you can see what we have here is we've got 19 splines, and this little button right here is on the end of a rod that is currently interfering with a couple of those splines. So if I try to press this in, what? Oh wow, that is a really snug fit, or a precise fit, I should say. It's not snug, it's just precise. But if I try to pass that through, you can see it can't pass through because that pin is in the way. But if you push the pin in, the pin has a part that's machined out of it, and that allows that to slide past. But then notice that the hub has a ridge that's machined in it. So drop that in, press the button, it'll drop to that point and lock in place. And that is just not, this is the end that took a dive. I wonder if I've dented or damaged that as well. Wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, we're sliding on just fine over there. Yeah, you can see the shiny surfaces here and here. I do have some burrs I need to clean up before this hub adapter is going to fit. And the thing about I was talking about the Shopsmith one hanging off the headstock. That one certainly hangs off the headstock quite a bit as well. So I got over my criticism apparently. All right, let me get this all assembled. We'll play around with it here. So this hub right here has got 3 holes drilled and tapped. Geoffrey has drilled those in at a 10-degree angle, so that'll allow those to splay out a little bit. Here you can see the angle. And you'll also notice that he has milled some flats on this so we can get a wrench on and get those properly seated in their threads. So this handle is 12 inches long. The other ones are 8 inches long. And so just as a single lever, this gives us a lot more leverage for things such as mortising or drilling with large Forstner bits. Let's get a measurement here. I'm going to measure from that spot right there. We're sticking out 5.5 inches with this. And then let's put this on here. Come on, there we go. Now that's flush with the end. So 5.5 inches, plus we have that slight 10-degree angle. Now if I wiggle and jiggle from the ends of these, you can see we have some play. That's very similar to the play that I was getting with the 3-handle quill lever from Shopsmith. I'm curious if I can tighten that up a little bit in any way. There's the 3-handle. There are 19 positions that we can attach that handle. Man, that thing is long. Woo! Get your 3D glasses out. Let's compare that to the standard handle. Yeah, at least to the standard total shop handle. That's 4 inches, so 1.5 inches more sticking out on each side. You'll have to decide for yourself if you can live with that. So I need to get those burrs off of that. I also need to get everything waxed to keep them from rusting, corroding, etc. But I'm curious. I'm looking forward to playing with this, and hopefully that little bit of wobble doesn't bother me. We're going to find out. Be sure to leave your questions, comments, and cheap shots, and I'll see you in the midweek episode of Stumped Q&A. And in the meantime, make it a great week.